Bro, I seen this video about a serial killer, and basically he's supposedly one of the most well-known serial killers in Brazil. So he was born in 1945, and right before he was born, bro, he ended up having brain trauma, because when he was still in his mom's stomach, bro, his dad was beating the fuck out of his mom. And he said his dad, he remembers one of the main things his dad would always tell him was bro, you gotta solve violence with violence. That's the only way you can solve that shit.
Yeah, fight fire with fire.
Exactly, right? And so basically a few years later, the first time this dude has a taste for blood was when he was 14, and it was because the mayor, he fired his dad from the job that he was working at. And bro, we're struggling even though he already didn't like his dad. He was bro, we kind of need this dude, make some money in this house. So he goes over to where the mayor stays and he shoots him.
He killed the mayor of his town?
He killed the mayor.
His first body.
His first body was the mayor, bro. Yeah, and the reason why the mayor even fired the dad was because I guess they said he was stealing food from work, for his family and shit. And then so a little bit after, he ends up killing somebody else, and it's the guy who actually stole food at the place where his dad was working.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But they thought it was his dad, I guess, or somebody snitched or something like that. But yeah, he killed that dude too. So now he has two bodies. So then after that, he's damn, bro, it's kind of getting too hot. So he leaves Brazil, and they said he went to, it's called Mogi das Cruz. And he's all right, bro, I'm gonna lay low over here for a cool little minute. So while he's there, he meets this lady named Maria. He really falls for her, bro. He's you know what? This is a good woman, bro. I think I'm done. I'm not gonna be, doing this type of shit no more, bro. I don't wanna, he found a good girl. He's bro, I don't wanna be killing people no more and shit like that. I'm cool. So then, they fuck with each other for a cool minute, and he doesn't kill anybody, bro, for probably, let's say, a year. And bro, after a while of them just living a good normal life, he's not killing anybody, she kind of took him out of that. His old life catches up to him, and they come through to his house when he's not home, and they kill his wife.
Because he killed the mayor and old boy, the other dude?
Yeah, or something in between.
Yeah, some other shit,
yeah, that he probably got mixed up into that they didn't report.
Bro.
But so he's fuck, bro, I should have been home. So then he's bro, I'm back.
He's back in
action,
baby.
So he starts going on a rampage, bro. He starts killing dudes left and right, bro.
Bro, who is he? Is this Punisher, Cuddy?
Bro,
he's the real life Punisher.
Damn near, bro. He's really Punisher.
He's Punisher.
I swear to God. And bro, you know what they called him? They called him, I forgot what they called him, bro. So then he was fuck, bro. He made it his life's mission. I gotta find whoever the fuck did this shit and torture them and kill them, bro. And I guess in this period of time while he was just kind of thinking of what he was gonna do, he just kind of forgets his main objective of why he was doing it for his wife, and he just is kind of okay, you know what? And he keeps thinking, he's bro, damn, I really fucking hated my dad. You know what I mean?
Let's get this stereotype out the way right now. Women are not better cheaters than dudes. They're better detectives, okay? If a woman finds out or even think her man is cheating on her, she turns into the FBI, the DEA, Sherlock Holmes, Scooby-Doo in the gang, whatever you want to call it. They get to the bottom of it. They call their friends. They get together. They form NASU. That's a niggas ain't shit unit. Then they go to your Instagram, your Facebook post, and find out every hoe who liked it coming in under your picture and run a full background check on them for real. Your girl will be did anybody find out who the hoe who put her eyes under my man post is? And her friend will be I did, girl, but you ain't got to worry about it. It's just his auntie. And they do that to every hoe who liked it coming in under your picture, for real. A girl will hide, she'll act like she's leaving the house, hide around the corner, have a stake out of her car, wait for you to invite the side chick over so she can go in there and kill both of y'all. A dude is not finna do all that. He ain't finna go to her post at every nigga who liked it coming in on her post. He ain't finna have a stake out outside the house. The only way a dude gonna find out his girl cheated on him is if he walk in on them cheating, or if somebody tell him bro, I seen your girl with somebody else the other day. That's the only way, but they don't make y'all better cheaters. That just make us lazy detectives.
Bro, there's this crazy ass story about this dude named Richard Angelo. People called him the Angel of Death. So in 1980, this dude, Richard, was an EMT in New York. He had a really bad problem with wanting people to, it's just being human, but he wanted people to really like him, and he always wanted to be recognized. Yeah, so and he always just wanted to have praise, bruh, from the people at his job and whatnot. He was damn, bro, nobody really fucks with me over here. And so basically he had this plan in his head. Okay, I can find a way to make myself a hero and have all these people fuck with me. So he was I'm gonna, because EMTs, when they get to the place, they usually see what's up with the person. So when they would get them in the back of the truck or whatnot, he would inject the people that they were bringing in. He would inject them with a paralytic thing, something to paralyze you. So then they'll be oh, the person's fucked up, whatnot. And he did this for probably, gonna say 40 people. Just kept doing it. And out of the 40 people, he saved 27 of them. And the other ones just died from him. So he looked like a hero at first. Like, everybody was like, damn, bro, like you were... So it was damn on some Nightcrawler shit. Yeah. Making the problems happen, and then he was solving them.
Damn.
So then everybody was just like, damn, bro, like you're really on it, bro. So he started really getting the recognition he wanted. And he was like, let's fucking go.
Like, this is how you fucking do it, dude.
Exactly. So he's like, bro, I don't know why I was doing it by the book before.
Man,
this is so easy. Now I'm getting friends. I got freaking people hitting me up. Everybody want to talk to me at work. They want to talk to the hero, right? So then he kept doing it. And, you know, even though some of the people died, they were just kind of like, all right, you know, it is what it is. It's just life. And no one really knew what was happening. So then a lot of the people like that worked with him, his coworkers, they started to like just peep the patterns of the emergencies that were happening and how he was always there. So then they started getting suspicious, like, bro, you're at every single one of these before anybody. Before it damn near even gets reported, bro. So then they were just kind of being suspicious about him for a minute, and then until this one person that ended up having an accident, he puts him in the truck, and the person was like passed out at first. And right when he was getting ready to inject that dude, Cuddy woke up. So he caught him doing it. So then the dude, like right before he could do it, he pressed like the emergency light to let the people know, like, bro, come up in this truck. So they come through, and they end up finding out what he's been doing. So they call the cops. Cops come through, and they end up checking dude's house.
He probably got shit from his job, damn near.
Exactly, yeah. So he was using like a lot of shit like that.
That's crazy. He made a poison and then the antidote, bro.
Exactly, at the same time. So he was like, you know what I mean? So that's why they were calling him the Angel of Death.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so then he ended up getting sentenced to prison in 1989 for 61 years. So they didn't even give him life, bro. He was just in there for a cool little minute, but he was already kind of, you know.
Did he die in there or did he get out?
He died in there. He ended up dying, yeah.
What year did he end up dying?
I think like, it was like the late 90s.
Damn, he was in there for like 10 years damn near.
Yeah, I mean, he was in there for a cool little minute, but so then he just ended up dying, probably because somebody got him or whatever. But yeah, when they interviewed him, they said he was like, I'm not gonna lie, I suffer from low self-esteem. Like I really do. Like I wanted to create a situation where I could be the hero and people would respect me for once.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even and he starts kind of talking about his backstory, like in school, people didn't really like me, and I always had this like, you know, thing where I wanted everyone to just...
He wanted to just impress everybody and shit.
Exactly. So yeah, bro, it's like clout is a hell of a drug.
Clout is a hell of a drug, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, he got what he's recognized now. He got what he wanted.
Exactly. People know him.
In a weird way, you know what I mean? He kind of did get what he... Not the way that he wanted to be known, you feel me? But he kind of got what he wanted at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm never doing role play before sex again. I've been scarred for life. I was talking to this one female. She was biracial, half white, half black. She gonna tell me, I want to spice things up. Let's do a little role play. I said, say less. I should have known something was up, though, because she gonna tell me, you don't got to worry about getting no outfit or getting into character. You was naturally born it, okay? I said, all right. So I'm laying in bed, right, with just my drawers on. Shawty gonna walk in dressed as a whole slave master, had the whipping on. I was like, babe, what's going on? She said, don't call me babe, call me master. I said, that white side coming out of you, ain't it? And you know how usually people put on some slow music while you having sex. Shawty gonna put on the sound of dogs barking in the background. She had dogs barking in the background. I was like, I don't feel comfortable, Shawty. She said, shut up, call me master. She started whipping me with the whip. I started screaming, it was hurting. I said, ah! I started running out the house. I was running. She gonna chase me to my car talking about, get back here, nigga. I drove off. I haven't talked to her ever since then. I've been going to therapy for the last 4 months. Parents always complaining about their kids' grades, but in reality, they're about as dumb as us for real. Once a kid get past 6th, 7th grade, a parent can't help you with your homework no more because they don't know how to do it either. They lost. Like my dad used to always yell at me in high school for my math grade. He used to be like, why you failing? I'd be like, Dad, it's hard. He'd be like, no, it's not hard. You're just not studying and applying yourself. Anybody can do it. I said, oh, for real? Hold that thought. I went to school the next day, got my homework, took it back home. I tested him. I said, Dad, I don't know how to do this homework. Can you help me out? He said, sit at the table. I'll be over in a minute. He got over there. He was like, son, I think you got the wrong homework. This literature, okay? There's X and Y. There's letters in here. We need your math homework. I said, this is math. They're called variables. We got to figure this out. He said, let me go get my glasses. This nigga went to go get his glasses like that's going to make him 10 times smarter or something. So he went to go get his glasses. We finished the homework. I turned it in 2 days later. I got the results. This nigga did worse than I did. He got a 10 on my math homework. He got 1 out of 10 problems right. I said, go home. My mom snapped. She said, there you go again. Not applying yourself, okay? You about to get a whooping. I'm going to call your daddy in here. She said, Reggie. My dad came in there. She said, look at this boy. Look what he got. My dad looked at the paper. He was like, look, honey, I think you should take it easy on him, okay? Because he's trying his hardest. I swear to God, he's trying.
I seen this story the other day about this guy named John Matthew Chapman. And it happened in 2019 in September. Right? So this shit's pretty fucking recent. So basically, like, dude, he had a girlfriend and she was disabled, right? So, you know, they were rocking for a cool minute. Maybe, I think, like 4 years they were together. Like, everybody, like, thought they were, like, a good-ass couple. And, you know, dude was a good guy. And so this one day, he tells this girl, he's like, hey, I got a, like, you know, surprise trip. Let's go to Nevada. And she's like, okay, I mean, I guess we can go. Yeah, cool. And so he tells her, like, all right, I'm gonna do a photo shoot for you, and it's gonna be a bondage theme. So she's like, okay, yeah, we can do it for sure. And so they get out to Nevada. So yeah, he convinces her to go out there. And oh, and by the way, bro, like, what she has is it's called Vader syndrome. And basically it's like a syndrome where, like, basically your body will be way smaller than, like, a average full-grown adult, you know what I mean? So you have just certain, like, shit like that. But and so yeah, he lures her to Nevada, the desert, for the photo shoot. And then he convinces her to let him tie her onto, like, a signpost, you feel me? And so she's like, yeah, go ahead, you know what I mean? You can tie me on there and let's start doing the photo shoot. She has no idea what he's on, because, you feel me, she trusts him wholeheartedly, bro. And that's the saddest part about it, bro. And so dude ends up killing her out there, like, stabs her, and
while she's all tied up,
yeah, and he leaves her there, takes the car, drives back home like it's nothing, right? And he goes to her place, because she still had her own home. So he goes to her place, and he, like, takes all, like, basically everything that was at her house. He, you know, keeps all of it, starts, like, using her Facebook, and, like, poses as her for, like, a few weeks, bro. And he's like, you know, like, damn near texting people like, yeah, I'm good, we're just da-da-da-da. And, you know what I mean, just making it seem like nothing ever happened.
What the
right?
fuck?
Yeah, so, and he was doing it for, like, a cool little minute. And, like, a lot of people were just kind of like, all right, whatever, you know. He thought it wasn't going to raise too much suspicion, him just jumping on her Facebook and using all her, you know, like, every other app that she's on, you know.
Yeah.
So then some of her homies was like, nah, bro, my girl don't talk like that, bro.
Yeah.
That's not how she is. So then one of them ended up, like, I think they ended up, like, sending the cops to her house to go check. Like, you know, just go check on her, like, just to see if she's at the house and if everything's okay. So then the police go to her house, they show up, and they find dude. He's like in the living room.
Still at her house? He lived at her house for like 2 weeks?
He was living there for a cool little minute, yeah. What the fuck? And they found out in that short period of time, dude was already married with another woman in that house, and he was living like it was normal, bro. And he was just sitting there, damn near on the laptop, just on her Facebook and shit. You feel me? And so yeah, he ended up getting arrested. So in 2019.
Holy shit!
Yeah, bro, it's fucking weird. And then after that, I think, and right now he's still going through the trial process and everything like that. So crazy as fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, and then everybody found out they killed her. And
so when they, like, her body, was it still sitting there?
Nah, they ended up getting her body off and all that. But you feel me?
But they didn't find her for that long ass time that he was living there.
Nah, they didn't know, because you feel me? I don't think it was in plain sight, like, hella close to the road. Like that. I think it was probably a cool distance.
I wonder how her body looked when they found it.
Yeah, it's probably decomposing and shit like that.
Nasty.
You know,
all hung up and shit.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy as fuck.
Disgusting, bro. And the thing is, they're saying that they think he was living a double life the whole time. You know what I mean? So he was probably doing some sneaky shit with this bitch on the low while he was fucking with old girl. You know what I mean? And he probably was already thinking about doing her dirty. Dude ended up, they sent, he got sentenced to the death penalty, but I think he's still waiting on it right now, so
that's wild.
Yeah, that's what they said right now. So
I think the worst thing about seeing my ex move on is not the fact that she with another dude. It's because, nigga, I wasted so much time on her. Like, I want my time back. Nigga, I want a refund. I was a hoe before she met me. I was a happy hoe, okay? I had hoes. I could have wrote a Dr. Seuss book of how many hoes I had. I had big hoes. I had small hoes. I had short hoes. I had tall hoes. I had all the hoes. She came and I dropped them. They say love make you blind and make you stupid too. I could have been in the whole Hall of Fame by now. Could have been in the whole Hall of Fame, and she ruined it. She ruined it. People be saying, man, he for the streets. She for the streets. Nigga, that ain't nothing. I was the streets at one point. I was the streets. RJ Boulevard. RJ Avenue. And she came and she changed it all. She been having me in my room crying the last couple of days, man. I've been singing 21 Pilots. Wish I can turn back time to the good old days when I was a hoe. I got in a fight with a gay dude today at Target over some Dove Shea Butter soap. You know what I'm saying? It was the last one. He was reaching for it. I snatched it. He was like, hey, I was grabbing that. I said, you should have been quicker. He said, you're a real asshole. You know that? I said, you're slow. He said, I should whoop your ass. I said, you can try. You know what I'm saying? I was confident because I was obviously talking to the woman in the relationship. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get my boyfriend over here and he's going to kick your ass, okay? I was confident that I could beat both of them up. I was like, bring him on. He's like, Latrell. I was like, you know what? I'll call him for you. I said, Latrell. Latrell. This big dude walked around the corner. He was about like 6'8". He was buff too. When I seen him, my whole attitude changed. I was like, hey, Latrell. I said, I heard you guys like Dove Shea Butter soap. This is the last one, but I'm going to give it to you guys. And he was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, just take it, okay? Just take it, Latrell. I was like, you two have a nice day. Y'all are a beautiful couple, by the way. I walked off. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to get my ass kicked and be on worse.
Bro, oh my God. I don't even believe this is but it's a real story. It's about this guy named Marcus Wesson, and they called him the Vampire King of Fresno.
The Vampire King of Fresno?
Yeah, so, like, dude had the obvious, you know, like, kind of, like, serial killer backstory. His parents were alcoholics and, you know, shit like that. Well, his dad was alcoholic, and he was...
Beat him up with legs?
Yeah, beat him up. And so, yeah, his upbringing is so, like, you know, just strange. Like, his dad was beating on him, his dad was beating on his mom. And then, like, yeah, so eventually his dad ended up just leaving their family to be with a guy.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So his dad was just like, you know, fuck y'all, I'm gone. So by the time when dude was like 17 years old, he was like, fuck school, bro, dropped out of high school, joined the military. Was in the military for a few years, got out in like 1970s. But anyways, after he ended up leaving the military, he ended up meeting this lady and they ended up having 8 kids together, right? So they start, you know, just having this little family going on. And while he's doing this, bro, all that abuse and shit that he went through fucked him up. He damn near starts brainwashing his wife and like putting her in this like, basically he's like saying a lot of like culty shit, bro. And so she starts really believing in what he's saying. So, and the lady, I forgot to say, she has 2 of her own kids and they're both girls. So this is where the story gets dark as fuck. Dude convinces her into letting him marry one of the girls when they're 14. Because at first he was like, bro, I can marry her right now. And she was like 12. And the mom was like, just at least wait till she's 14. Which is so strange. But yeah, and then so he eventually marries her in his house. And they like put their hand on the Bible and shit. And tells them, okay, we're married. And so then, you know, the girl eventually gets older. And he has a baby with her.
What the fuck?
Right? And so they have more kids in this house. Because he starts saying, I'm gonna marry all of them.
What the fuck?
Before I even get to that crazy part, he starts telling all the kids, like while they're growing up throughout the years, that Jesus is a vampire and that he is God. They started to like believe him. So 2 of the kids, they get to like, you know, a certain age and they've been going through this shit forever, for years. They both ask for some reason, because they're like, damn, bro, we're already kind of grown, bro, this shit is weird. They eventually kind of just understand what's happening a little bit. And they ask him like, can we get out of here? And dude's like, yeah, y'all can get out of here, but I gotta keep y'all kids. I gotta keep everybody here. Everybody else staying here. And they were like, all right, at the time. So they said, it's cool, like we'll cut. They like see the outside world, you know what I mean, for what it really is, because this dude was basically keeping them inside, bro.
For
like,
the entire time that they were living?
They just lived with bruh, and they were just kind of going through poverty with this. And he was eating good though. That's the craziest part. Like they were all going through poverty the whole time, and he was kind of just treating them as like slaves. And and this is the weirdest part. He even made them. He said they had to address him as master.
What the fuck?
So weird. And so yeah, they eventually get to see the outside world, and then they start realizing like, bro, that was fucking weird. Like that was super weird, bro. So they're like, bro, we can't let those kids grow up like us. Like they can't go through this shit for the rest of their lives, bro. We got to get them out now. So they end up finding like from the original, you know, the mom, that they start finding like other family members and other people on the outside, and they all go to that apartment where bro was posted up at with them, and they call the cops, and they're like, bro, like, and they're banging on his door and shit, and they're like, bro, let them out. The cops, they go to the door, and then they're like, all right, just let us talk to him. Go to the door, and they knock on the door. Bro opens the door, hella calm. He's like, yes, officers. And they're like, oh, you know, everybody's out here saying you got their kids inside. And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, why have custody? You know, just arguing with the cops a little bit. Not arguing with them, but just trying to tell them, like, you know, to understand. And the cops are like, man, you got to let the kids out. Like, you know, just let them come outside. They want to talk to them, whatever we'll do. They got to, you know, they're tripping. And he was like, okay, well, can I at least say goodbye to them? And the cops were like, okay, go ahead. And, you know, they don't have a warrant to go inside his house and shit, so he closes the door, and they wait outside, bro. And he doesn't open the door for a whole hour.
What the fuck?
Bro, for a whole hour, bro. I guess some of the people at the house, but the cops, this is the weirdest part. The cops said they didn't hear anything, but the family said they heard gunshots. But the cops were like, we didn't hear anything. And they're all in the front of the house there.
Yeah.
So then the cops eventually, he opens the door for him, and he comes outside and he's all bloody and shit. And they're like, what the fuck? So they rush inside the house, and they see hella of the kids, like, bodies just stacked up.
Damn.
And this is the weirdest part. He has, like, basically they're all, like, posted up on a wall. It's hella coffins
For them.
for the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On some weird shit. And yeah, so then he ended up getting arrested. And you feel me? Dude was eating so good, this is the craziest part, that they had to put 3 handcuffs on him just to get it behind his back. So
Oh, he was big.
big dude, yeah.
For reals?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so yeah, he eventually got arrested.
Is he still locked up?
Yeah, he's locked up to this day. Like, basically he got life, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he went through trial in 2015, same year.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What was it? The Fresno vampire?
The Vampire King of Fresno.
Why do they call him the Vampire King?
Because basically, like, he...
Coffins and shit? Or?
Yeah, and because how he was just saying that, like, Jesus was a vampire. He had this weird, like, you know what I mean? It was just strange. So they ended up just saying, like, so vampire themed a little bit that they just, I guess they called him.
That's wild, bro.